Well, hello everybody and welcome to Lunchbreak Live, real talk about obesity, food addiction, recovery, and what's really eating you. I am Cari Cruz, waiting to see if anybody is going to join me today, especially after yesterday's show. Not really sure if I'm live, so I'm watching to see if that live counter shows up or not. If I don't see people popping up. There we go. Hi, Regina. Furfecky. Fur. You told me fur, not fair, right? Furfecky. Hi, and my mama is here. Yay! Oh, I'm happy to see people filling in. Filling in. You know, maybe I should come up with like a new phrase because we don't want to be filling in. Filling out? Filling up? I don't know. Hi, Diana. Oh, all right. Welcome, welcome. So glad you guys are here. So listen, I am Cari Cruz. I am here once again to talk to you guys about something. Well, maybe I should stick to the script and just say it's a recap of yesterday's show because yesterday was quite, it was quite a kerfuffle. Kerfuffle? It was like quite a ruckus. I raised quite a ruckus. And I think I made a lot of people think, and I might have made a few people upset and maybe helped a few people. I'm not really sure. But whatever the case is, today is going to be something of a recap for that. So I should just like put my glasses on and just dive in because clearly, you know, if I'm going off script today, today's not the day for that. So welcome in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for having the courage to join me. You know, it occurs to me, this is a smart show. Okay. The show that I do is a smart show. And what I mean by that is I'm not afraid to go out there and dig deep and push everybody to work really, really hard at this recovery stuff because so much of what we see and read out there is real surfacey. It's the stuff that, you know, it's just skimming the surface. It's just veneer. It's a thin veneer. It's varnishing over. You know, it's like paving over roadkill, right? And you're like, yeah, but there's something under there. I want to know what's under there, right? And that's what this show is all about is I'm not afraid to challenge you guys while I'm challenging myself because I know it's what we need to do in order to get what we say we want. And so I really appreciate the fact that you guys are willing to join me every day to do this hard, smart work because I think the rewards of recovery, wow, are definitely worth the price of entry here, which is I'm going to make you guys think. Sometimes it's going to hurt. Sometimes you guys are going to want to put your dukes up and fight me, and that's okay because I want to get a rise out of all of us so that we can truly be living our recoveries, okay, instead of just, I don't know, phoning it in, all right? So thank you guys for being here, for having the courage to show up. So here is what I am calling the show. Are you ready? The Selfishness of Obesity and Addiction recap of yesterday's show. Now, the subtitle is What I Said, What I Didn't Say, What I Shouldn't Have Said, Why I Said It, and Do I Regret It? Okay? So, as I mentioned, I do always go back and watch or listen to my programs because I want to make sure that I'm conveying what it is that I want to convey. If I could say something better, I work on that. If I said something too much, if there were certain, key phrases that I got hung up on or whatever it was, all right? If I did not stick to the message, make a salient point, whatever it was, okay, I need to know. So I'm doing my homework every night to make sure that I can be constantly improving the quality of the show, the content, right, making it better for all of us, all right? So I did that. This morning, actually, on my way in, I finally got to listen to the show, all right? So if you joined me yesterday, well, actually for all of this week's shows, but let's just say specifically to yesterday's show, you probably figured out why I close every show with the phrase, have courage, right? Because recovery from food addiction and obesity, for life, by the way, recovery for life, takes courage. It takes a lot of courage. Having to own our own crap, facing the worst in ourselves without beating ourselves up. That is just not easy stuff. All right. That does require courage. So if you are with me, bravo. Thank you for having the courage. So every day, like I said, I watch the show back to see if what I said made sense. And if there's something I could have said better or not said at all, that happens too. Well, this morning when I was listening to the show on the way to work, I realized that I should not have said one thing. It's hard for me to realize this sometimes, but you know what? I should not have said one thing. You want to know what that thing is? And I said it a lot of times. I said, I sound mean, or this may sound mean. I said that a lot yesterday. But guess what? It's not true. I shouldn't have said it because it's not true. Why? I didn't sound mean. I didn't sound mean at all. I wasn't being mean. And what I said wasn't mean. So I shouldn't have said it because the bottom line is it was the truth. And I delivered it with conviction and love and compassion. It was unflinching honesty. That's what I call it, unflinching honesty. And it was offered from my heart to yours so that you can learn to live with your diseases in peace. And that is always the goal of recovery, is to find the peace that has eluded us for so long. We would claim that we were eating in peace to get peace, and yet we never had peace, right? And that's what this recovery is all about, is finding that peace. So that's what I shouldn't have said. I should not have said that it sounded mean or I was being mean, because that's just not true. It wasn't mean. I think it's mean not to say it, not to speak the truth, choose something so powerful. All right, so here's what I could have said better. You ready? All right. Let's see. In describing some of the hallmark characteristics of the diseases of obesity and addiction, I used words like pity, denial, anger, disbelief, pain, shame, embarrassment, victimhood, laziness, incapability, blame, justification, excuses, sympathy, permission, forgiveness, and pretzels. Whoops, wait. Sorry, that last one was how I fed my diseases. Yeah, pretzels. Strike the pretzels. All right. Whatever the case, here are two vital conditions that I missed. Okay, so file this under things I forgot to say. Are you ready? These are very important hallmarks of the diseases of obesity and food addiction. Deafness and blindness. That was on full display yesterday. When we are not in recovery for our diseases, we are often deaf and blind to painful realities, especially when the awareness of what we perceive to be failings overwhelms our ability to use that awareness to get better. Did you guys follow that? See what I'm saying? Sometimes we allow the pain to overwhelm our willingness to be out of pain. Okay? So many of you guys who joined the show yesterday heard things I didn't say and are convinced that I was wrong, which is, of course, you're right. Absolutely, no problem there. Of course, I'm assuming you came back today. There's a bet in terms of who will show up today and who won't. But anyway, you don't have to agree with me. Of course not. Of course you don't. You can misunderstand me. That's okay too. And yes, you can decide that I'm wrong. However, if you are arriving at any of those conclusions because you are hearing, are you ready? Hearing what I'm saying through a filter of defiance, defensiveness, or deniability, then I think you are suffering from another protective symptom of the disease, deafness. And likewise, if you are not seeing the potential of selfishness in those who suffer with obesity or addiction, then guess what? I think you might be afflicted by blindness. That's true. So, like I stressed yesterday, I get it, okay? I get it. I was putting myself out there front and center. I was telling you guys how it is that I experienced it, in addition to sharing how so in other words, how I experienced it on both sides, from the recovery point of view, where I am now, and also from the sick point of view, like before I was in recovery. Okay, I shared both sides of that, all right? Obesity and addiction hurt. I said that a lot yesterday. I don't think I can overstate that. They hurt. They are excruciatingly painful, not only because of the social suffering, which is the pain put on us by others, but because of the pain that we inflict upon ourselves. We hurt ourselves. And you know what? I think a really great way to relieve some of that self-inflicted pain is to be aware of our deafness and our blindness and be willing to, where's that word, courageously accept realities that we don't like. That is where the relief lives, you guys, in being able to accept painful stuff that we don't like, okay? So yesterday, there were quite a few things that viewers seem to have latched onto. Number one, the idea that obesity and addiction engender laziness. Two, the belief that obese people or addicts care only for others to the exclusion of themselves. And three, other people besides addicts don't do dishes. I'm not kidding. That's what came out of the show yesterday. So let me clarify. I never said that only addicts don't do dishes. Never. Because as a matter of fact, a lot of the things that addicts model, lying, being deceptive, right? Hiding, stealing, not taking accountability, not being responsible, blaming others. Yeah, lots of people in the world exhibit those very same behaviors. However, when you put them all together under the same umbrella, you will quite often find an addict holding that umbrella. Okay, so that's what I said. Let's see. I said that not being personally responsible for our own crap is common to the disease. People who are not addicts can be irresponsible. However, when people choose like inpatient treatment, have you guys ever heard of that at a recovery center? A really big part of that program is personal responsibility, which looks like this: chores, making your bed, doing your laundry, washing dishes, showing up regularly and on time. There's like structure, which is lacking from the addict's life. Structure and accountability. So that's why I said that the lack of responsibility, which manifests itself as sloppiness, is a part of the selfishness of addiction. That's what I said. All right? Selfishness. People did not like this. Many people did not like this. People don't like it when I say that obesity and addiction go hand in hand with selfishness. They just don't. They actually get really mad at me. Yeah, I picked that up because they think I'm accusing them of something horrible, more horrible than the actual disease. Think about that for a minute. They are more upset than I am accusing them, which is, I'm really not, but that's what they feel like. I'm accusing them of being selfish. That hurts them more than my calling them fat. Wow. Okay. Shakespeare said this. I'm like kind of going to modify the quote. Methinks they doth protesteth too much. And what I mean by that is I have learned in my own recovery that when I get really miffed about something, or let's see, it's usually because I'm guilty of it, okay? And that means it's crap that I don't want to own about myself. So when I really want to climb up on my high horse about something, not always, but when I really want to climb up on my high horse, it's because I'm guilty of that thing that I am seeing in somebody else, okay? So that's the reality of that. Here's a good one. Surgery is the easy way out, right? You've heard that a lot if you've had bariatric surgery, weight loss surgery. Okay, well, I wanted it to be the easy way out. I think it would be stupid of me to tell you that that wasn't at all why I wanted it. Of course I did. I wanted an easy way out. Would I take the hard way? No. That's why I did it. And I wanted like a magic bullet or a pill that would cure my obesity. Of course I did. And fix me. I wanted to be fixed and cured and never have to worry about it again. So to a lot of people, here's the thing you got to understand. Surgery is the easy way out because people who have surgery don't have to do the things that people on Weight Watchers have to do every single day. And if they mess up even one little thing, they don't lose a pound. And yet, people who have surgery can, get a little sloppy in the early years there and still manage to lose weight. So, to the person that hasn't had surgery and is working really, really hard to lose weight, has to do absolutely everything right, to them, surgery is the easy way because to them, it looks like we don't have to do anything. We just get to lose weight. Okay, and we say, well, but that's not true. I have to do a lot of stuff. I have to modify. Come on. The reality is it easier than Weight Watchers? We hope it will be. And you know what? To the people on the outside looking in, it does look easy. And that's just the truth. And nobody wants to hear that. I get it. But you know what? When we were on Weight Watchers, we had to do it perfectly every day, every time. And the things we could never do perfectly are the reason we had surgery in the first place. I used to get mad at people who said that to me because, well, I had to accept the reality that I did try to take the easy way out and learn there is no easy way. There is only recovery. Right? So there you go. There's a little awareness and acceptance for you. And who wants to learn they're selfish? Ooh, this is a biggie, right? I mean, when we, they, you, whomever, have spent years peddling a lie that they are obese because they are selfless and never think of themselves. That is the lie that is out there. Well, the thing is, you see, I never took care of myself, and that is why I'm obese, because I never took care of myself. I was always worried about everybody else. That is a lie, you guys. I know you don't like to hear me say that. I know it makes you mad. Okay. You don't have to believe it. But I guarantee you, if you don't even consider the possibility that that might be right, it's going to be a lot harder to choose recovery, because this is a really big part of it, in my opinion, which is pretty strong, by the way. A lot of obese people think that they are obese through no fault of their own. I did. I believed that. It wasn't my fault. And that I believed I didn't play a part in my own disease. And I mean, who wants to hear that? Who wants to hear that I played a role in my own disease, and that, yes, my obesity, my sickness was due in large part to my behavior, the things I did and the things I didn't do, all right? Who wants to hear that when we've convinced ourselves that obsessing over others, especially what others think about us, means we're not selfish? So in other words, if I'm obsessing over somebody else, even if it's worrying about what they think of me, I've convinced myself that's not selfish. It is. All right. For me, there was great freedom in acknowledging my role in my disease. That's just the reality of it. I finally found peace when I was able to accept that I had spent a lifetime being selfish in the most unhealthy way. We're all selfish, guys, because we're human. That's what humans do. Looking out for number one. It's self-preservation. We got to take care of ourselves, because if we're not here, then we're not here. Okay? So of course we look out for ourselves. And we all come from a place of me first. Of course we do. We always ask, what's in it for me? Right? Why should I do it? How is this going to help me? It's human nature. Does that make us bad and wrong? No. Only if we feed it, or in the case of obesity or food addiction, overfeed it, especially when we feed it deniability and lies. That's when it starts to get squirrely and problematic, okay? And that leads me to something I didn't say yesterday. The goal of recovery is to stop the unhealthy selfishness and learn to be healthy selfish. And actually, when it comes right down to it, I don't even like that definition. I don't like that description. I like this maybe a little bit better. I was thinking about it. My goal is to stop being self-serving and start serving others. My goal is not to be self-centered, but to be centered on self. So when we're active in our obesity and our addiction, we are selfishly protecting our disease because it's what we do. And that is not healthy. Finally, laziness. Ooh, people don't like that. People do not like that. They hate it. And I do a show about it. Imagine how people feel, okay? But I know that I was lazy. I know that I know that I know. I was lazy when it came to consistently making healthy food choices, consistently exercising, consistently owning my crap. Okay? I was lazy at that. Yeah, I worked really hard at work. Actually, I worked harder at work because I never felt like I was enough. And I figured if I did more than enough, I could finally be enough, which never happened. And look, most obese people that I have met are overachievers and perfectionists, right? We work so hard trying to accomplish the things in our life that we're good at to make up for our woeful inadequacy at dealing with our weight, right? How many times did I say, I am so good at this, why can't I just control my weight? I'm so inadequate over here, why can't I just, okay? Well, I didn't put the energy into handling that part, not the way it needed to be done. And okay, why? Was it like a choice where I said, I'm just not gonna? No, it usually comes from a place of like not believing I was capable, not believing it was possible, not having support, feeling like no one believed in me, coming from a place of a victimhood status, right? When you're a victim, you can never do anything, not feeling good enough. So it was all this other work that I had to do that was getting in the way of my choices, healthy choices, to actually take the bull by the horns and treat my diseases of obesity and food addiction. So that laziness was learned, and it was often, compounded by all of these other lies and beliefs about myself that turned out not to be true, okay? But the reality is the net result was I was lazy in that I did not do the things I needed to do to treat my disease. All right. I didn't know I could. I didn't know I should. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to make an excuse for the fact that I just didn't do what I needed to do. All right? And that is how I would address laziness. Okay, think about it. If you see a bodybuilder, you know they work really, really hard at building their muscles. I'm not talking about steroids, right? They work really, really hard at it because even people who take steroids have to work really hard at it. Muscles don't just happen. Do you know one time I went to one of those little clinics, this is a little story I wrote, you know, where they hook your body up with these little, what do they call them? The little muscle zappers. And they they jump and they twitch and they work your muscles so you'll look like you have six-pack abs and like cellulite-free thighs, right? They hooked me up to that, claiming, oh, it'll help your back pain or your shoulder pain. But the side effect is, the benefit is it's going to work out your muscles for you. So you don't have to. How lazy is that, you guys? That's pretty damn lazy. And I did it, okay? So I can say it. That's pretty damn lazy. I wanted the machine to do it for me. All right? I wasn't even willing to do the work. I didn't want to work out. I didn't want to, at least not consistently. I wanted the results, but I didn't want to do the work. I was too lazy to work out. I just was. And even when I did occasionally work out, I didn't do it consistently, and I didn't do it sufficiently or correctly because I just didn't want to. And I was lazy. I just didn't want to, okay? Didn't make me a bad person, but guess what? It did not help my disease. All right? That laziness didn't help my disease. And please do not talk to me about exceptions. Exceptions are exceptions for a reason because they are not the rule. That is not what this is about. By and large, we know when we are not doing enough to get the results we want. We know. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. I am not talking about people who can't do certain things because of injuries. I'm not talking about that, you guys, because I'm talking about people who use injuries on one part of their body to excuse themselves from doing things with other uninjured parts of their bodies. Right? Ever heard someone say, I've got bad knees? Get in the pool. Okay? That's a simple answer, right? But there's more to it than that. It's not that easy because often, even though it's just our knees that are injured, so much more about us is injured as well and has made us believe we are incapable or we are depressed, we are tired of pain, we are worn down, we don't think we can do it, whatever. So I am not talking about the exception here. I'm not talking about injuries that don't permit us to do all of the things that we might want to do, but there's always something we can do. If you can't work your lower body and you're in a chair, you can work your upper body, can't you? You see? But if we don't, we're lazy because we're capable of doing it and we choose not to. That's just it. It's not an indictment. It's not a judgment. It's a reality. And the sooner we acknowledge and accept it, right, the sooner we can stop feeling bad about ourselves. That's the reality. That's the power of honesty and awareness. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. I mean, I'm raising my hand here. This is what I am raising my hand here. I'm not judging anyone. I'm not calling anyone out while claiming that I'm pure as the driven snow, because I'm just not. I have crap that I have owned, and I have crap that I still need to own, and that is all part of recovery. Okay? It's the reality. I have crap that I have owned, and I have crap that I still need to own, and that is what recovery is all about. And ultimately, here's what I think. We hear what we want to hear. We see what we want to see, and we often exclude anything that would take us farther away from what we want to believe so we can be justified in denying our crap. Isn't that convenient? Isn't that amazing how we do that? I can't make you own your crap. That's not why I'm here. But I can say we all have it. We all have crap to own. I can't make you see the selfish parts of your life, but I can say we all do it. And I can't make you believe things about yourself that are painful, but I can say we all need to if we want to live a life in recovery. So in thinking back on yesterday's show, it is easy to take what I said out of context. Oh, it's very easy. It's easy to put words into my mouth. Let's see. Oh, and draw inaccurate conclusions. All of that it's very easy to do that. It's easy to ignore what you don't like to hear and tell me I'm wrong. Because you don't want to believe I could be right. I'm okay with that. I could be wrong too. But if what I said helps even one person find freedom from the tyranny of their diseases, well, I guess it's going to have to be worth it to me to lose a few friends. If even one person gains their life. So I may lose people over here. But if one person gains their life, I think it's worth it. It's worth being honest. So I do hope that you guys will continue to challenge me as you challenge yourselves. And I hope you will join me as you invite other people to join, because I think together we're stronger. There's no denying that. Together we can fight the selfish diseases of obesity and addiction. Together we can help others see what they don't want to see and hear what they don't want to hear, because when you're here, you're safe. All right? So that is my recap of yesterday's show. I had to write it out because I didn't want to go off script. I thought it was very, very important that I collect my thoughts so that I'm saying exactly what I believe and exactly what I want to say. I cannot control what you hear, and I cannot control what you see. I can't control what you believe about yourselves. Again, all right? That's up to you guys. But I'm certainly going to say it in an unflinchingly honest, though imperfect way. Okay? I get it. I am not for everybody. And, you know, some shows are going to resonate more than others. And that's okay, too, because, hey, you guys aren't just like me, are you? However, I really, truly believe we share a lot of the same feelings and emotions. We share a lot of the same experiences, and we share the same conditions, don't we? And if there is even one thing I can share with you guys that has worked for me, aided me in my recovery from these diseases, well then, I can't be too afraid to share it with you guys, because then I'm just getting in my own way, aren't I? All right? So I will go back and read what you guys wrote offline. Okay, I'm not going to take up the show time here to do that, but I so genuinely appreciate your courage to be here, to show up, your willingness to share your truth, your honesty, to reveal when something is revealed to you, because I think your courage to do that gives other people permission to find their own courage and see themselves even as you see yourself. So thank you guys so much for doing that. Again, I think this is a phenomenal community of people. I really, really do. Wow, you guys are amazing, and I am humbled that you guys are willing to show up every day and join me on this journey. I love it. I feel like Forrest Gump. I'm just running. You guys are all running with me, and we're just going to keep running, but not from anything. We're going to run to recovery. So I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to remind you to what? Have courage. Seek peace. Embrace joy. And above all, honestly, courageously, fearlessly live your recovery. Remember, you can't stop feeding what's eating you. If you don't know what's eating you, I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye.